Hi, it's me. Welcome to another video. This video is going to be a weekend readathon video. So I'm taking part in Jan's readathon weekend. There are certain prompts. So the first prompt is a book set in a small town. It is cowboy themed readathon. So for a book set in a small town, I'm going to read the third book in the Chestnut Springs series by Elsie Silver. So this is Powerless. I don't remember a lot of the first two books. However, they are interconnected, so that doesn't matter too much. I've only read first chapter and prologue, and so far it's actually kicked off so well. This one has interested me straight away. So you've got childhood best friends, Jasper and Sloane. She is about to get married. She has made it quite clear to him she has wanted to date him for a while, and he's kind of been putting her at arm's reach. But now he's acting like he wants her. But after years of turning me away, he's going to need to prove it. Yeah, so he's kind of been like, no, we're just friends. Now she's about to get married. Something happens at the wedding, because on the back it says, when my life falls apart on my wedding day, it only makes sense that he's the one to swoop in and save me. The next prompt is Found Family, and I'm going to read Tempting Venom. This is one I'm most excited for. I cannot wait to get through this. Oh my gosh, like, sort your lorry out. Are they serious? Do they not know I'm busy right now and they need to be quiet? Tempting Venom by Rena Kent. This is the third book in the Vipers series. This is Dark Romance. So we'll probably be starting that tomorrow. It's Friday today. We've got Friday, Saturday and Sunday to do this readathon. This book I'm hoping to get through today, so we can start this one tomorrow. And then the next prompt is a hat or horse on the cover. So we've got Done and Dusted, which is book one in the Rebel Blue Ranch series. I have all the book, maybe I shouldn't. However, there is also a bonus prompt for cowboy or cowgirl, so this fits that as well. So I'm hoping that kind of these three complete the challenge. This one is Done and Dusted by Lila Sage. She's off limits, but he's never been good at following the rules. I can't remember much of what this is about, but we'll explore it together. We'll see where we go. Just for like a sneaky peek to get the party going, I thought I would read just the first page of each book as we're introducing them. Prologue, Sloane. Age 10. My car is open before my parents have put the Bentley in park. My feet hit the gravel driveway before they've even managed to get out of the car. In a whoosh of breath, my arms wrap around my cousin Violet. We almost bowl each other over into the dirt driveway with the force of our hug. She smells like green grass, horses, and sweet summer freedom. I missed you, I squeal as Violet pulls away and grins mischievously at me. I missed you too. I catch my mum staring at us, happy and sad all at once. I look like my mum and Violet looks like hers, except Violet's mum died and my mum lost her sister. I always think she likes bringing me out here because she feels closer to her sister when she's on the ranch. We also have our iced coffee to start the day. I know it's a football cup and we are not currently celebrating because England was out, but like I got this blue bow straw and it kind of matches the cutesy cup. I love Anthropologie glasses. They're the only ones I will buy, along with I've got a set from Amazon. Those are the only two that I'm willing to have. You'll probably see in videos I've got so many different versions of this cup. I just love them. I just only want these. I buy two every time I get a new design. I have got my pajama top on because it's oversized, it's like massive, and I need something for the air circulation in this heat. On page 22, there is a part where Sloane is talking about her wedding day. I'd given up so thoroughly that I'm settling for a person I don't love, one who I'm sure I don't even like, and it makes me sick. So before this, she said, worst of all, the man I'm going to walk down the aisle toward isn't the one I see when I close my eyes. He isn't the one I've wanted for the better part of my life. And then it goes on to say, no, this day is nothing like I'd imagined. So she is basically saying she has always wanted to marry Jasper, and now she's going to marry this guy. And it gets towards the end of the chapter and she gets sent a video of her husband-to-be doing the naked dance with somebody else. She is actually really happy. She's got a reason not to marry this guy. I don't know how she was going to marry him in the first place. Like, what was your reason for marrying him? Chapter 3 starts with a text thread between Jasper and Violet, and Violet says, Things just went to hell in here. Jasper, what's wrong? Violet, Sterling Woodcock is a piece of shit, that's what. Jasper, what the fuck did he do to her? He's already like raging. Like, he's not gonna be happy bunny. And I'm just thinking, is this book going to be Jasper just trying to prove to Sloane that he is ready for a relationship? I like a wedding atmosphere, although not quite the wedding atmosphere one would want to go through. I have got my yogurt bowl, almost 100 pages in, chapter 8, but we've got some updates for you all. Sonny, I wonder if he knows what that nickname does to me, how it makes my stomach flip. If he knows, he shows no sign of it, because right now I barely recognize the man before me. Jasper has been in my life for almost 2 decades and I've never seen him look so deadly. I want to leave, but I don't want to look everyone in the eye. They'll try to convince me to stay, and I just want to go back to where I always felt safest as a little girl. I long for the place and the simplicity of the life that came with it. There's a deep pull in my chest I can't ignore. So this is coming from Sloane, who wants to run from her wedding and just escape back to where they used to be when they were kids. He is texting, I believe, his brothers. So what are you doing? I asked to his back because I haven't gained the courage to get close to the door yet. Texting my brothers, for what? I stepped forward to peek over the crest of his bicep, glancing down at the screen, reading the messages that pop up between him and my cousins rapidly. Help is his brief reply. He turns to me in a moment later, a hint of steel peeking out from beneath his handsome features. You should lose the shoes. He's like, ready, Sloane? For what? I whisper. To run. You're going to help me literally become a runaway bride. That's what friends are for. Friends. That word has haunted me for years. As a child, I felt special when he called me his friend. But as an adult, as a woman, watching other women prance around on his arm at different events while I get called his friend, it kills me. One of the girls that's pregnant decides to pretend she's in pain and is yelling my baby as a distraction so they can get away. And from reading it, it doesn't even sound very believable. They go to the ranch and they find out that Beau is missing, and Beau is like a brother to Jasper. There is a flashback. Beau says, are you really living here? And Jasper is living in his car. I groaned. Of course he had to follow me. Yeah, come to my house. That's what he breaks the tense silence with. That's what he has me spinning around to look at his bright, shining golden boy of a teenager. Your house? Yeah, he nods. Lots of rooms, lots of food. He's having this flashback moment to when Beau obviously dragged him into his family. Jasper is kind of like, do you want me to take home? She's like, no, I'm coming with you. And then she says, we can stop at a Walmart or something so I can get some clothes that fit. My question has the corners of his mouth tugging up. I can just see the headline now. One broad palm waves across the console in a dramatic swoop. Canadian Telecommunications heir Sloane Winthorpe flees wedding and is found shopping at Walmart. I snort. Works for me. Sterling will stop blowing up my phone if he sees me shopping with the peasants. My fingers do little air quotes when I say peasants. We also find out that this wedding was a business transaction from her father, so it would have benefited her dad career-wise and money-wise. We also get to the point where Jasper plays some games and he doesn't do very well. His head's not in it because of Beau being missing, so he basically gets like almost suspended in a way. They're like, you need to take some time for yourself. You're dealing with a lot. You can no longer work right now. So we're on chapter 8. 91 pages in, and Sloane and Violet have a text thread, and one of the things that Violet says to her is, he needs you more than he realizes. Don't leave him. You're his person. How? You're his person. Oh, How did I agree to marrying Sterling in the first place? And how dare my father think it was appropriate to ask that of me? It would be good for business, you know. You'd make a handsome couple. Sometimes marriages are more of a business transaction than a love match when you travel in the circles we do. Any father that thinks is okay to marry off his daughter as a business transaction. Sorry, I got hiccups because I just had dinner. I'm always eating right now. Every clip is just like food time. I love that although Sloane is going through this really rough time of her wedding imploding, she is still conscious of how bad Jasper is currently suffering. Like, he has been suspended because he didn't disclose that his brother was missing and that his head wasn't going to be in the game. So he's also got that. He threw up on the side of the road. Like, he's just in a really dark place right now. And Sloane is really like there for him. Although she does acknowledge that her marriage is just gone up in flames and she doesn't really know what's happening with her own life. She is very much focused on him. And I think like that's very relatable. Sloane is actually adorable. I love that she's got a dorky side, and Jasper has got a few like mental health issues. You get some of his anxiety and a lot of his, like he says, there's loads on his mind and there's all these worries going around, so you can feel that anxiousness coming off of him. These characters feel so real, they're so fleshed out, and I love them both so far. I think this is going to be so much better than I first anticipated. We are 120 pages in and I'm just absolutely loving it. I was so prepared for this to be an average book, and it's Elsie Silver, so I should have known it was gonna slap. Like, I should have known it was gonna eat. This couple is like becoming one of my favourite Elsie Silver couples. We are almost at the 200 page mark of Powerless by Elsie Silver, and both of these characters are very down bad. However, reading from Jasper's point of view, he seems especially down bad. Maybe he's always kind of had some type of feelings for Sloane throughout his life. However, right now they're just very much heightened, whereas Sloane has had this like aching love for Jasper since she was like 10. So they've had a week together at the ranch house and now they're on a road trip. They were playing I Spy and Jasper decides to pick her eyes and starts telling her that they're the colour of duck egg blue. Then he realises her eyes are like the colour of this lake they find. He is still quite in an emotional state as they're looking for Beau. However, when it comes to Sloane's chapters, although she very much loves him, she is also being very careful about his feelings and what he's currently going through. They stop and have some food and drink somewhere and Sloane gets very drunk. They had to stay in a hotel and they've got one room, 2 beds. I am actually enjoying this kind of like chemistry and the tension between them because they are so close in proximity and in friendship, and they are both yearning for each other so bad. Almost 200 pages in, so I don't know if I'll finish this tonight. I mean, it's 8:20, but we will give it a go and see how we get on. Love Island is also on at 9, so I might be watching Love Island. I cannot help myself. We are at the halfway mark and we've got our first makeout session. The kissing has commenced and I thought it still felt a bit early on. I love a slow burn, but then again, we are at the halfway mark. It happened in like some type of near-death experience. They were both shooketh and then realised how in love they were. So I had a little make out. It just reminds me of like Hermione and Ron at the end of Harry Potter. As it gets later, my hair appears to be getting more crazy. I have got Love Island on. It's currently ads, so I can talk to you a minute about what happened in Powerless, because there was more to Jasper's feelings than we thought. So he also had feelings for her from a very young age, and we get a little bit of insight as to why those feelings were turned off. He also thought she turned her feelings off as well, which wasn't the case at all. After the kissing, there was a bit of tension and Sloane was not happy with Jasper at all. But they got to the bottom of it quite quickly, which is great because I hate miscommunication. Hate it. So that's brilliant. Then we had a little bit of some spice, a little smutty scene. Good morning. It's Saturday and I finished Powerless by Elsie Silver and I'm giving it 3 stars. Up until the last clip I filmed, it was given like 4.5 kind of feelings. Wasn't quite a 5-star, but I was loving it. And then they got together and there was just chapter after chapter after chapter of smut. And don't get me wrong, I like a smutty book, but spread it out. I hated that it was back to back to back to back. And then I got a bit bored and then the last couple of chapters were good. But the second like half of the book is worth like a 2.5. So I've averaged out the score because the first half was so good and the second half was a bit of a flop for me. Now we're going on to this and I'm predicting this being a 5. I mean, it might not be, but Rena Kent, she doesn't really do me wrong. She has done once. And it is a book in this series, but I could revisit that one because I have read, let me count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 I know that I've read of her books. One of them was a DNF and the rest were all like 4-star and above. This morning, it's been a bit busy, so I haven't filmed that much, but we're going to get straight into it. It's midday now, it's 12 o'clock on Saturday, and we're starting book 2. I think that's quite good progress. So this one is a dark romance. It's also a hockey romance. Funnily enough, Powerless was also a hockey romance, even though I thought it'd be more cowboy. 2 rival male main characters, 2 different hockey teams, dark pasts that are going to resurface. I did forget to read you page 1 of Tempted Venom by Rena Kent, so we're going to do that now, and then we're going to have a little bit of a check-in. I've only got like 70 pages into this one, but I have also picked up our 3rd book, Done and Dusted, and I did also start this book. But we are going to be mainly focusing on Tempted Venom. Just from the prologue, I've already picked my favourite character. Prologue, Marcus, age 7. I hate my birthdays. They always begin with the same bleak reminder that the one thing I want most is the one thing I can't have. Maybe I should change the wish. Try to see if I can make a better one. One that doesn't revolve around wanting something I can never have. Too late now. Mum's slightly trembling fingers tighten around my clammy hand. Or maybe it's hers that's all sweaty. Her usually affectionate touch is jaded, smothered by the consequences of my stupid wish. I peek at her, sinking my teeth into my lower lip. Mom is still in her pale pink nurse's uniform, her white sneakers smudged from the walk in the rain, and a worn leather bag slung over her shoulder. Her jet black hair is pulled into a ponytail. A few strands slip loose around her face. I love Mom's face. It's round and welcoming, accented by huge dark eyes that I see myself in, and warm skin kissed by the sun. Marcus is my favourite. Preston needs to like tone it down a little bit. Like Marcus said, it's his birthday. He's 7 years old and he wants some time with his dad. Marcus's mum was his dad's mistress and she didn't want to be that, so left him. Marcus' dad just wants to kind of pay them, just keep them happy. He doesn't want any part in that, like any part in like a relationship. He doesn't want that. He meets Preston when they're 7 and they agree to be friends. Preston gives him some candy, and it's like the highlight of 7-year-old Malcolm's birthday, which is adorable. And then you switch straight to a game that they're both compete on opposite sides, and there is some foul words said by both sides. The book kind of starts with the Vipers actually losing a game to the Wolves, and Malcolm is actually the team captain for the Wolves, and they're all celebrating, and he's like, these people only love me because I'm the captain of this hockey team, which could be true. We don't know. This book is very hard to kind of pinpoint any parts that I want to read out, because with Verena Kent's writing, if I was like to annotate her books, I think most of it would just be underlined and highlighted. It can get quite deep. So I've got something to share. This is like 75 pages in, and we're on a Preston chapter. My skin crawls, or pretends to. I'm disgusted. Totally. Absolutely. So disgusted I could throw up any second now. And any second? But I don't. And nothing comes. Not the nausea or the static. Just nothing. Actually, there is something. His lip. They're lowering further. Getting closer as tension grows between us. Charging the air with the force of a fury explosion. My breath gets caught at the back of my throat, as if I'm going to choke to death with zero pressure against it. His mouth is about to touch mine. Do something. Stop it. Osborne changes direction at the last second and wraps his lips around the bottle. His other hand sliding over mine, forcing me to tip it higher so he can drink. His Adam's apple bobs twice, and I track the movement without meaning to. I swallow hard, my throat tightening, my whole body going rigid, like I've been stun-gunned. The static floods my head with that noise again. It's as if my mind's an old-fashioned TV stuck between channels. The sound hisses, the world flickers, and I'm trapped somewhere between too loud and too quiet. I can't speak. All I can do is watch as Osborne lets some of the alcohol drip from his mouth into mine, slipping past my parted lips and burning its way across my tongue. And he's watched it too. His usual smirk is wiped clean, and his eyes light up in a shade so bright it knocks the air right out of my lungs. It's almost dazzling, blinding even. He is also really struggling with coming to the conclusion that he might like him. We have had a lot of scenes with them together, which I love, that there's no like, oh, when are we going to get more scenes of them being like, not necessarily together, but in the same chapters, like communicating in the same places, you know, in the same scenes. Marcus has admitted he's got no label, but he will date anyone, so he's pansexual, whereas Preston keeps calling him gay and saying that he is not himself gay. And we know that they're both our main characters and they're going to end up together. There is a bit more murder in here than I expected though, because Marcus followed Preston to see how he kills people. Preston got Marcus to keep hitting him, and then Marcus realised Preston was getting hard while he's being beaten. Preston's friends turn up, so Marcus did a runner. Well, he didn't, he kind of hid. And then he's following them while Jude and Kane. So Jude and Kane are basically grabbing Preston, and they're saying, oh, we hope it's not these people after him again. And Marcus says, well, not says, this is his like inner monologue. Who are they and them? Other than me, who the fuck dares to target Armstrong? I don't like that at all. Only I get to fuck with his head. I'm so tired. I'm struggling to talk right now. I'm actually exhausted, and I've got ulcer on my tongue, which really hurts. So if I sound awful, I apologise. And Dexter got a nice big bit of slob on me. There's that as well. I don't like sitting like this because I look like all boob right now. I need to sit more like this. Okay, we'll sit like this for next time. Having a great time. So I'm holding out hope, and I'm just going to be in the moment and enjoy the story. Okay, so this book is very unhinged. Am I still loving it? Yes. Marcus is becoming one of my favourite Rena Kent characters. He is very in control. He's very put together. He has his demons, as we all do. He holds his own. He holds himself together really well. He keeps kind of putting the pressure on Preston a little bit, then taking it back. Like, he'll be a bit forward, then I'll bring it back. He knows what he's doing. And I think he is working his magic on Preston. Preston is like a tornado. He's very chaotic. He is like a reckless gremlin of sorts. He is a hurricane, and he has got a lot going on mentally. He can have his like tantrums at times. He suffers with not being in control at times. He's got all of these really strong emotions that he doesn't know how to control, a bit like a child. When they don't know how to react to things, there's a lot of tantrums, and it's a bit like that, but in an adult body. So Marcus threatened Preston and told him he had to come to the arena. Preston turned up and had a bit of like, almost like kind of like an anxiety attack. This is Marcus. Preston ran away again. He shut me out first, then he ran away, but he didn't get far. The good thing is that he didn't drive his car into the horizon and disappear from view before I could blink like the last time. Instead, he just headed into the arena. Naturally, I will follow him. Apparently, in this book, there is a twist. However, if you've read book 1 and 2, then you would already know the twist. I can't remember much of book 1, and I DNF'd book 2. The twist may be a shock for me, for us, on this journey. I've still got a lot to go, but I want to enjoy my time with this book, and I think I will end up enjoying it fully. Famous last words, maybe. I am going to move to the bed soon and just read in bed, and then I might just do an update in the morning, because I feel so tired and I just want to rot in bed with my book. Make a cup of tea, book and bed. I am almost at the halfway mark of Tempting Venom by Rena Kent, and do you know what? I love these characters so much. I actually don't care too much about the plot because I just love reading about them. At the beginning, they meet when they're 7 years old. Preston forgets this. So when they meet again, Preston has no memory of them meeting as children. And Marcus is a little bit hurt by this. Marcus also had his kind of gay awakening following his desire for Preston and going after guys that he could sleep with and imagine that is Preston. Marcus has been down bad for a while now, I feel. Preston is giving in to him more and more. So Marcus actually went to one of Preston's games and then got him to meet him afterwards. Preston spoke in French. He said, "Speak more French to me." That was Marcus to Preston. Preston's eyes narrowed and he says something. I'm not going to try and read that. "Yeah, what does it mean?" "It means you're terribly annoying tonight. I understand enough French to know beau doesn't mean annoying. It means beautiful. It means hot." Preston looked me dead in the eyes and said I was terribly beautiful tonight, and then tried to pass it off as an insult. This idiot. He has no idea how close he is to being mine. So this is a Marcus chapter. And it says, "I've never worked this hard for a hole in my entire existence. Never tolerated so much push and pull, temper tantrums and rejection. I tell myself that's the only reason this fuck felt special, because I'm finally conquered Preston Armstrong. If I follow that logic, this morbid fixation and disturbing obsession should vanish right about now. I wait and fucking wait as I breathe him in. Nope, no disappearing in sight. If anything, my cock lengthens inside him, demanding round 2 now. Uh-oh." The feelings have been caught. I've got myself out of the bed. I don't know how much difference this is going to make to my mood, but we're giving the old college try. I turn around and head to my bike. As I hop on, I feel a heavy body settle behind me, and a strange sort of feeling grips me when he wraps his arms around my waist, tightly, until it hurts. Because this is how Preston hugs. "Where are we going?" he asks in a low voice, and I just know this man will be the death of me. Marcus makes it very clear to Preston he is there for a relationship, he is committed. Whereas Preston keeps telling him he's not gay and he is struggling with the situation. And there's still some back and forth between them. However, we haven't got loads of book left. So I am interested to see what happens in these last 100 or so pages. I think got maybe 200 pages left, something like that. I did finish Tempting Venom by Rena Kent, and this was such an easy 5-star. It did get quite deep and emotional, especially with like some suicidal thoughts and tendencies, a lot around like mental health, and some bits were a bit surprising, but loved how it ended, loved the characters. This is definitely a found family, as most of Rena Kent's books are. Can't recommend it enough. I absolutely loved it. I love these characters. These two especially were so well done. Preston was very similar to a couple of her other crazy male characters. However, he was also his own. He stood as his own person. He was still similar but unique in his own way. I don't want to say too much more about this, on the verge of just telling you every single thing that happened, but it was so good. Some of her best steamy scenes are in this one as well. I'm currently 100 pages into Done and Dusted by Lila Sage, and this is very cutesy, very fun. It's only like, I think it's like 355 pages, so it's just a short one. I have written down some notes so I don't forget what to say. So we're going to read page 1 was the first thing. Chapter 1, Emmy. Clementine Ryder, I swear to God, if you're going to mope all night, I'm taking you back home, Teddy said. I'm not moping, I protested, even though I was definitely moping. Being home had that effect on me. So did Teddy's usage of my full name. Seriously, who named their only daughter after a fruit? When it came to a night out, Teddy meant business, and when Teddy meant business, there was no arguing with her. Usually I didn't mind. Teddy was my best friend. She knew me better than I knew myself, and knew what I needed before I even did. When I made the decision this morning to pack up my apartment, break up with my boyfriend using a post-it note on the fridge, and leave the barrel racing circuit, I drove 300 miles straight to her house in our small hometown. On page 2, they mention Sweet Home Alabama. She says, wine in Sweet Home Alabama is fun. You're right, she said. But Emmy, you've been sitting in your apartment in Denver doing wine and Sweet Home Alabama for a month. Literally every time I FaceTimed you, I could hear Patrick Dempsey getting dumped at the altar, and then I could see his teary blue eyes in my mind. There's only so much of that I can take. That's the best scene in the whole movie, I argued. It breaks your heart and puts it back together. There is a couple of mentions of Sweet Home Alabama, and I did watch this the other day for the vibes, ready for this video. And it was the first time I'd seen it, and I actually really enjoyed it. So Teddy is Emmy's best friend, and Teddy is very chaotic and very tough love. At the start of this, Emmy is very much freaking out about going home. She goes straight to her best friend Teddy, and Teddy's like, right, we are going out on the town. So they go to their most kind of popular bar where a song starts to play. After a few seconds, the steel guitar player played the opening bars of Oh God No, Oh My Darling Clementine. There are only 2 people who thought it was funny to torture me with that song every time I came into a room. One of them was my oldest brother Gus, but I knew he currently wasn't within Wyoming state lines. That could only mean one thing: he was here. So she's looking around this bar for who is going to be playing this song. I continued scanning the bar as I walked. Bad idea for a girl who was only coordinated when she's on the back of a horse. I tripped over my boots and ran into something hard. A chest. A man's chest. The man's chest. I looked up at his owner, who had a shit-eating smirk on his face. It was him, Luke Brooks. When she gets home, we get introduced to 2 of her brothers. I'm not sure if there's 3 brothers. I'm not sure, because I know there are 4 books, and I believe they're going to follow each sibling. But we get introduced to 2 brothers, so that is Gus and Wes. Wes is very much golden retriever vibes and very much an adorable guy. You didn't ask me why I came home. I don't care why you're here, only that you are. Bless him. Luke is teaching 4-year-olds how to ride ponies, and there is a pony called Cheerio. That is literally the most adorable thing ever. Emmy goes to pick up her niece who was riding the pony Cheerio. She was a natural. Watching my niece with her pony made me drunk with pride, but it also sent a baseball bat to my stomach. I hadn't been able to ride Maple in a month. I would get her tacked up and out to a ring, but when it was time for me to mount, I panicked every time. I'd been injured while riding before, but never like what happened in Denver last month. And then it goes on to Luke basically finding out what happened, and he then offers to help her. He's like, I literally teach people how to ride horses. The book itself is quite insta lusty. He says that she is the prettiest thing he's ever seen, and they do almost have a kiss when her brother comes in and kind of breaks them apart. It was a close call. They didn't actually do any smooching. We have also got some banter back and forth with her best friend and one of her brothers, which I did find quite amusing. They were winding each other up, and then they say, you know, goodbye to each other, Emmy and Teddy do. Teddy stopped in front of Gus. What's that? She pointed to his shirt, and like an idiot, he looked down. She flicked the finger back up at him and hit him on the nose. Gus growled, literally growled. So basically Emmy's fall was on a new horse, and it could have been worse than it was. However, since then, she has been unable to get onto another horse. We are liking it. It's a silly fun time. Nothing record breaking, but not absolutely terrible. I did finish Done and Dusted yesterday. However, it is Monday now, and I am filming my final thoughts because the lighting is better. We've got some sunshine, whereas yesterday it got a bit dark and a bit late and I just wanted to go to bed. The main male character not gave her a nickname, but started calling her Sugar. It was just a bit too much. He said it over 20 times. He kept, at the end of every sentence, he would say sugar. I know, baby. The dirty talk, or the bedroom talk, that was all Luke. Like, she would barely say anything and he would not shut up. Was actually annoying me. We did get a touch her and die moment, but it was in a dive bar and it was so cringe. I was still enjoying this book, but there were just some big no's. It's not very often I cringe at a book. ADHD representation in this book was actually really good. The main female character, Emmy, had ADHD, or has her thoughts and feelings, things like that. That was really good and well done. The setting was really cute. I liked that there was no third act breakup, and the only thing that caused a bit of drama was when her brothers found out about them. The main female character, Emmy, I really liked. Her best friend Teddy I also really liked. Her brother Wes I liked. So there were some really good characters in this. There were just some moments where I was like, why have you done this? I would be interested in carrying on with the series. I do own all of the books, so not a complete loss. I did give it a 3-star. We've had 2 3-stars in this video and 1 5-star, which I'm so happy about. I hope you enjoyed, and this was actually inspired by Jan. I will link her channel below because I love her videos. She is one of my absolute favorite booktubers to watch, and I have joined her Patreon, and that is where this readathon has stemmed from. So I created a video of me reading these books for that readathon. It was really fun. I had a great weekend reading books. Bye.